Okay, so what I'm going to do is, there are so many things you've talked about, but I would really invite at this stage Ritu Bapna was part of our core team to have a quick rapid fire round with you, right? And Ritu, you have 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Sushma ji, and thank you, Rajneesh ji, very much. It was a presentation that hit home. But we would definitely love to hear more, and that's why I'm going to put across a few more dilemmas that some of us as an audience would be facing across, but we don't have anybody to say out loud to. Starting with my first question, and since most of our audience is from this age group, I want to start by asking, is it too late to reinvent your career at 40 or 50 age group?
Absolutely. So, Ritu, the answer is obviously yes. In fact, as I said, that there was someone who spoke at the beginning that after mid 40s, he thought of taking up a startup. I personally believe that's the right age. And let's say, even if you do not succeed, you always have your professional degree. You can go back to profession. So never ever stop trying is the thought process that I have, and do what excites you is something that I narrated as part of my presentation.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir. But they often also say that why work for someone else when you can build something of your own? It's a classic dilemma that I think even if many of us don't have, we keep hearing from other people's. How do you know that maybe you are a good fit to take up the uncertainty of entrepreneurship, or you might be a better player with a professional job?
सी माई सेंस ऋतु इज ऑलवेज कि कूद के पांव पालने में ही पहचाने जाते हैं जनरली अगर आप देखेंगे कि आपका इंटरेस्ट फर्स्ट 20 years ऑफ योर एकेडमिक लाइफ में क्लियर हो जाता है जैसे आई सेड आई हैड सम काइंड ऑफ लाइकिंग फॉर अकाउंटिंग my daughter had a liking for marketing and she did CA then changed to marketing. So somewhere down the line, this is something that brings you happiness, and choosing a career to your liking is always good, but at the end of the day you also have to assess your capabilities, whether you'll be successful or not. For example, for a person like me, when we were almost in a hand to mouth situation, उस समय अगर मैं सोचता कि मैं भी बिजनेस कर लेता हूँ, probably I would not have been successful, because जब तक आपने दुनिया के थपेड़े नहीं खाए और उससे सीखा नहीं, तब तक आप चूज नहीं कर सकते कि आप सक्सेसफुल हो पाएंगे कि नहीं हो पाएंगे. तो डू what is probably right at that particular point of time.
Okay. Is it okay to not wanting to grow all the time? When do you know that now we should get stabilized, like maybe prefer or be in your zone?
Oh, Ritu, I think I answered that. मेरा ये मानना है कि जब भी आप कंफर्टेबल हो, उस समय अपने आप को चैलेंज करो. Never get yourself into a comfortable situation if you want to grow. Look at our prime minister. For 10 consistent years and probably for decades together, he has been working 16 hours a day because he has growth in his mind. So if growth is life and you want to grow, you should never ever make yourself comfortable at all.
Okay, but then how does this decision be impacted from what your family situations are?
Very, very right, Ritu. Sometimes it does impact. It has impacted me also. But one also has to learn the art of balancing. For example, I can tell you during my Geo days, I am actually an early riser. And in those days, I used to go back at 1 o'clock in the morning, but I did not leave getting up at 5, because I always believe that if you don't take care of your health, the rest of the things will not follow you. So taking care of your health, your family is important. But generally, Ritu, मेरी belief ऐसी है, 24 hours in a day बहुत होते हैं. बहुत होते हैं. अगर आप अच्छी प्लानिंग हो तो आप ये सारी चीजें एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हो और यहाँ के सेशन भी दे सकते हो.
Right. Well said, sir. You also spoke about SOP versus SOP deviation. My question is, when you are actually not the decision maker in your role, how do you know if your manager will back you, or is it okay to step out of the line at times?
Very, very important question, Ritu. In fact, let me tell you, I have always been a very blunt person in my life, and I do not even spare. Probably sparing is not the good word. If I have to open up my mind or spell my mind, even if somebody is my boss, I would tell him. At the same time, I'll tell him that this is what I think right. मानना नहीं मानना आपका काम है because you are boss, but I will have to tell you this so that later on if your decision goes wrong you'll remember this is what Rajneesh had said. And by the way, even I have not I've done this even when Mukesh bhai was there. कभी उन्होंने मानी है कभी नहीं मानी because obviously he is at a much bigger scale than me, but putting your mind together, putting your thoughts, expressing your thought is somebody which all of us should do. And this is what is the best SOP that you can think. And as I also said, if you have to really choose between career and conscience, I have chosen conscience over my career.
Great, sir.
Last one, Ritu, please.
Sorry?
Last question, please.
Sure. So when you really know, like you're ready for your leadership role, like because moving away from a technical to a non-technical leadership role might take you slightly away from your core profession at times. How do you pick that?
ओह, इंटरेस्टिंगली रितु, देखिए मैंने आपको बताया था कि कल्ट क्लियर होता है, कुछ लोग स्पेशलाइज्ड होते हैं, राइट? कुछ लोगों में एक लीडरशिप ट्रेट होता है, तो ये लोग अपने आप को कभी स्पेशलाइज क्रिएट नहीं करते. दे टुक वैरायटी ऑफ रोल्स बिकॉज दे समवेयर एट द बैक ऑफ देयर माइंड दे नो दे हैव टू बी kind of leaders at that particular stage. So this is something which you have to learn or you understand early on, and that's where I said either you become a specialist or you can actually get into leadership. Leadership means that agar aap leader nahi bhi bane to aap apna startup karke still leader ban sakte hain.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Rajeshi. Over to you, Sushma ji.
Thank you so much. Fantastic round here. And, Rajneesh ji, you really spoke about mentor versus, whether at the manager also and have a mentor who helps you grow. And you said it, and even I, we never had. But I think mentors हमारे साथ थे. At least मेरे साथ तो बहुत थे. And the reason was because I sought out my mentors. अगर कोई मेरे को पसंद आया, whether it was a professor, I would sit outside his office for 2 hours with my list of questions, पकड़ती थी उनको. जब corporate environment में थी, I was sought out in the whole company. Who is the one who will be able to teach me? Who is the one who will be able to teach me? Where can I get these answers? And I had multiple mentors, and I remember still that there was once when my mentor asked me to do something, and I said no, because I used to also question. And I said, no, why should I do this? No, I didn't agree. And then at one point he just said, Shushma, do you trust me? And I said, of course I do. Then he says, just do what I'm asking you to do. Okay. And I just did it. And 2 weeks later, I thanked him. Because he was, as you just said, there are certain people where at a certain position, they have information and knowledge which we at our position don't. And what he told me to do, he couldn't reveal to me, but he definitely guided me. So I think having a mentor is so important, and we don't need to stick to one mentor. What do you say?
Absolutely, absolutely. I said
हमारा JPF क्या करता है? अपना
multiple
mentorship program है हमारे.
You should have multiple teachers in your life, and and one of the thing which is always there in learning is, are you ready to empty your mind before you accept a mentor? Because normally आपने देखा होगा कि हम अपना mind empty नहीं करते. तो while let's say अभी आज जैसे when I'm talking here, you will find that people are actually putting something out of their CPU and continuously kind of challenging whether this is correct, this is not correct. I believe in any kind of learning, the first thing that you have to do is to empty your mind, so that then the learning comes at after it enters your CPU. उसके बाद बहुत सारी एनालिटिक्स करनी है, बिल्कुल करिए, but then उस समय you emptying your mind is something very important.
related to the topic, related to Rajneesh ji's questions, um, actually, I think it'll be great if people can unmute themselves and speak,
Absolutely.
right? So come on camera, open forum right now. You should be able to. And Manish ji, you had asked a question on emotional intelligence and strategic thinking. So it was कि when do you know कि भाई emotional intelligence use करना है कि strategic thinking use करना है?
Yeah, yeah. So I think I want him or her to be on stage so that I can just talk to him or her directly. Uh,
हाँ,
जिन्होंने भी question पूछा है. So maybe at least as this particular question, Sushma ji, since you have said on the behalf, let me answer. I think both are required in equal proportion. Mind and heart is almost as important in any decision making. While mind tells you, based on the academic learning and experience that you've got over the years, your heart is your guts. Many a times it even challenges you that the circumstances are not right for whatever baggage of experience that you have. Current circumstances may different socho. I will tell you that in any kind of decision making, मैं जब फंक्शनल हेड को रखता हूँ जिसके पास 25-30 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है, एक यंग प्रोफेशनल को भी साथ में रखता हूँ. तो ये जो 25 और 30 साल के एक्सपीरियंस वाले हैं, ये अपनी एकेडमिक और एक्सपीरियंस नॉलेज से मुझे बताते हैं कि अंडर दिस सर्कमस्टांसेस उन्होंने क्या वॉट एवर डिसीजन दे हैड टेकन बिफोर. बट ये यंग माइंड है, he gives me raw ideas, and sometimes I tend to take those raw ideas, and many times they turn out to be correct. So both are required, emotional
sure.
intelligence as well as your mental thought process.
So I trust when Manish ji said he would not be able to come on video right now, but I'm
Thanks,
hoping that has
Rajneesh
been
ji. I
answered.
think Rajneesh ji, I was just trying to check. What happens is sometimes when you have an experience of 25, 30 years, and when you tend to miss the emotional side of people, right? And I think that's where I was just trying to see that, while that you have an experience of 25, 30, 40 years, but how do you keep that emotional quotient? Because the young guys need that emotional support, right? That's was more my question.
Absolutely. They cannot be a better teacher than Mukesh Bhai himself. He is, hands on the shoulder kind of a leader. And I would really feel that, if you have entrepreneurs like that, let's say, 15, 20 years back, when I was a young professional, but then if he thinks that this is the guy who is doing the job, he would talk to him directly or challenge him for doing that. I personally believe that if you don't talk or give time to the youngsters, that would not be correct, because for me it is always an investment. और ये ऐसी इन्वेस्टमेंट है जो वो सूद समेत वापस करते हैं मुझे.
No, thanks. This is very helpful. Thank you.
And that was Manish Singhvi, and he is also one of our mentors.
Thank you.
And he's been leading as a CFO in numerous companies and now branched out on his own.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you, Manish ji, for joining and your wonderful
Thank you.
questions.
Thank you.
Right. And you have a big fan in the audience right now, Somin Datta. Would you like to just say one word? He's written says you're not only a wonderful leader, but a wonderful mentor, and you actually combine spirituality and business, which is such a tough thing to do, because we constantly, again, those are dilemmas and crossroads that we are generally at.
Absolutely
Right.
true. Sushma ji, you remember I spoke of something that you need mind, body, and soul. All three of them have to be taken care. Mind ke liye continuous study, keeping yourself updated all the time with all these AI, chat GPT coming or
Mm.
digitization coming. If you don't keep abreast, you will lose in the race. You have to take care of your body, because without body, I don't think you can do any of them. And the soul is something which people ignore. In my opinion, if you do not have inner peace, your external peace is of no use.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for that wonderful reminder. Somewhere we all know it, but I think day to day zindagi mein we sort of sometimes we tend to forget some of these things. Wonderful reminder. Yeah. Okay. So Meghna, please unmute yourself, come on camera and do ask your question.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I run a business. I've been running it for the last 7 years. I'm about 29 right now. And I have larger than life goals for my business, but I, of course, don't have the experience. And neither have I picked up any funding that I can kind of hire people with decades of experience. And given that you built Geo from ground up, where perhaps you also had larger than life goals to achieve, how do you think that someone of my age can do that for my company?
Meghna, even if there's paucity of time, I have to give you that example that I actually have taken, sessions for IAMS, and one of the questions that was asked was that, sir, do you think we should go for a startup or we should go for job? And this happened almost 3 years back, and I said, look, because you guys have a excellent gray matter, most of you will land up with 50 lakh salary, 75 lakh salary, or even a crore or even more. But the country doesn't want to lose your gray matter. I would like that you create your own startup with the brains that you have, and try to create jobs for many many others in the country. And let me tell you, at least two of them, after 2 or 3 years, they called me up and said, sir, thank you very much for your advice. I have taken a startup, and presently it's a $7 million company. So this is what probably, if you're able to act as a catalyst, you should do. Age is not important, 29, but then keep mentors available with you. Keep people who can suggest you. You have, JPF mentors, as was spoken about. And again, there is so much of information available to validate yourself at every stage. आप अभी चैट जीपीटी में जाइए, और if you validate whatever Rajneesh ji has said, they will actually give you 10 points जो शायद रजनीश जी ने ठीक नहीं कहा. So you can actually do validation anytime and every time, and course correct. In fact, in one of the things that I said is, never go on to a failed path. You should be able to understand your failures at the right time and course correct and move forward again. In my opinion, you will definitely run the race.
Thank you.
And if I may add, Rajniji, with your permission, two things. Of course, we can be innovative and entrepreneur in our respective jobs as well. That's the best way to protect your career, not even survival, like not even growth in this era. That's one. Second,
Priyansh, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for giving me the opportunity, and thanks for this beautiful session to Rajneesh sir and all JITO. This is my first session with JITO, and looking forward to connect with you all. And I'm a chartered accountant by profession, and I worked 1 year in PwC Gurgaon, and currently I'm in EY India as a statutory auditor of a listed company. Uh, my question to Rajneesh sir is like, अभी मैं अगर इंडस्ट्री में मूव करना चाहता हूँ, लाइक वैसा रिलायंस या कोई लिस्टेड एंटिटी जैसा रहती है, तो अभी अब से मैं फ्यूचर में नेक्स्ट 15 ईयर्स या नेक्स्ट 20 ईयर्स में इतनी बड़ी इंडस्ट्री में मैं खुद को कहाँ देख पाऊंगा, वैसा मेरी ग्रोथ कैसे वर्क करेगी?
Absolutely. See, Priyansh, in my opinion, no growth is guaranteed till the time you choose the right career, you choose the right rules. But let me tell you, being part of Big Four itself is a great opportunity. And gone are the days that this Big Four only give you opportunity in accountancy or audit. They give you an opportunity in every area. So my point to you, Priyansh, is if you are excited being in EY, and if you like the culture of EY, there can be a career within EY. And I can tell you, after 15 or 20 years, I have many, many colleagues in EY who are at a very, very great position that the industry does not offer. Uh, when you come to industry, remember that there are not many like Reliance, which actually has multiple sectors: manufacturing sector, digital sector, retail sector, energy sector, so on and so forth. So you also have to think whether this is a kind of industry that excites you in terms of growth. Many a times, even though you may like the company, but that may not help you in your future. So B, just try to find out, happiness in the current role itself. And since you're part of Big Four, it actually offers you a lot of space. And if you think of industry, think from that perspective, where it is going to take you 10 to 15 years, whether it will give you opportunity or it will specialize you. I can give you many examples where people have come last 20 years, they are only doing capex, they are only doing costing, they are only doing accountancy. They have actually not moved forward, because in large companies you need specialized and you need senior people at specialization level. So many times you will be stuck in that particular role. Does that answer, Priyansh?
Yes, sir. Thanks for your time and contribution. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you, Priyansh. Over to you, Apurva, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Sushma ji. Jai Hind, Rajneesh ji. First of all, wonderful session. Thank you so much. And it's my fourth session that I've attended in this series. All are increasing the bar. Yeah. So very fortunate that I'm part of this forum and able to hear so many nice thoughts. So my question was around with respect to how should one deal with the hesitation or self-doubt that comes from feeling like they don't know enough when we are targeting for the leadership roles. And additionally, what truly matters at a leadership position? You talked about the generalist versus specialist thing, right, earlier. So, what is that truly leadership role demands for?
Absolutely. So, अपूर्व जी, ये डिलेमा इन माय ओपिनियन लीडरशिप में हमेशा आता है, बिकॉज जैसे मैंने बताया कि अगर आप डायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन हैंडल करते हैं या कोई एक टेक्निकल रोल हैंडल करते हैं और 20 साल तक आप वही हैंडल करते हैं, तो कहीं ना कहीं आप स्पेशलाइज हो जाते हैं. So you have answer for any kind of question that is coming, because you are also upgrading yourself in that particular space. But when you become a leader, when you get through many functions, कहीं ना कहीं आपकी स्पेशलाइजेशन थोड़ी कम हो जाती है. नाउ टू मीट दैट, यू विल हैव टू एक्चुअली डू मोर देन इट इज रिक्वायर्ड. मैं हमेशा एक वर्ड यूज करता हूँ, दैट ऑडिटर शुड नो मोर देन द ऑडिटी, and therefore the auditor should work much more than the auditee, because auditee already answers लेके बैठे है, auditor को कुछ additional करना है. The challenge with us is too much. And I can tell you, Apurji, I myself has come across number of situation when you really feel that you don't know enough in terms of contributing to a decision, and that is where you have to work hard all the more. As I said, that 24 hours is sufficient time if you really want to get that. That couple of days, I study more about that subject, and before the other person realize, I know more than him. So that is the only approach. Learning has to continue. At any time, it has to continue every time till the time you feel now you're confident enough to actually either mentor or take a decision.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you. Okay.
Perfect.
So Gaurav, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, thank you, Sushma ji. Although Rajneesh ji, you have answered most of the questions, I have two questions, and your response can be, same for both. One is, when you look back, is there anything that you think that you could have done differently? And the follow-up question to that is that even during our professional journey, there are times when we have the least amount of trust in ourselves. So, was there any particular scenario or any time when you had the least amount of trust in yourself? But then, what was the action that you took on that?
Absolutely. So I think one of the things, there are many things which I wanted to do, which I could not complete. I actually started off by saying that, although I become CMA, because the circumstances at that particular point of time desired that I should quickly, stand on my feet and start earning, I still miss that why I didn't do, some MBA, and so on and so forth. But have I allowed them to be a constraint? Answer is not. I've moved forward, and I always believe that academics is kind of an entrance degree. Rest you can patch it up with your learnings. And the other part, there are many things that you regret, but I'll give you one simple rule, Gaurav. At the end of the day, I spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes in creating a trial balance of my day. And if there is something that I've done good, I feel good. If something I could have done better, or probably I would have scolded you, I immediately, make up my mind that next day, the first thing in the morning, I would go and repent that. And then again, I've got satisfied sleep. So in both the cases, at the end of the day, I'm a very satisfied person with myself. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you again. Wonderful answers and questions. Right. So, Namanji, please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for staying long and giving us the opportunity to ask a question. So my question was, I have a full-time job and I also work out in the morning, so 7 to 8:30, and then I start working from 10 to 7. After coming back, after making dinner, how do you push yourself to keep on learning, to keep on working, and not give into comfort? Second of all, with so many distractions like social media and YouTube and Netflix around us, how do we stay clear of that and stay focused on the path of growth and success?
Excellent question, Naman. In fact, to be part of digital company, I was waiting for this question to come from you. So let me answer, both. Number one, again, I will repeat that 24 hours is too big a time for anybody to spend a time on learning. You can actually do it during the day also in the morning. For example, I try and read one book in the weekend. So you can imagine how many books I would have read over my career. So while most of you probably would spend time outside, which I also do, but I ensure that at least this is one. At the end of the day, Naman, what is important is discipline. And if you really create a charter for yourself and plan it accordingly, there's nothing in life that you cannot do. And coming about the social media distraction, any innovation comes with, a tag tipping, the usage is on you. What kind of content you are choosing determines whether you will grow or you will degrow. So there are good contents, there are bad contents. You should have the capacity to filter them. And that sieve in your life comes through your mentors, comes from your teachers, comes from your family, who actually वो छलनी आपको देंगे जिसमें छन के ओनली अच्छे कंटेंट ही आप देखेंगे, दूसरे कंटेंट आप नहीं देखेंगे. And you will utilize your time as learning. Okay, Naman?
Thank you so much for the answer. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Naman. And next question is from Amit Jain.
Hello, Rajneesh ji. It was an absolutely enlightening session. So my question is from the other side of the table. I am presently, we have a manufacturing company and exporting mainly to Europe, US, and a lot of tier ones and OEMs within India. So the question from the other side of the table is that while assessing candidates who are looking for growth opportunities in our company, earlier I used to mainly look at the cognitive skills and the emotional skills that an aspirant is, what kind of a skill set does he have? And that would be my tenets to assess that candidate for a career opportunity. Well, post-COVID, I have added one important tenet also is the physical fitness of that aspirant, which is very important, I feel, these days, to be physically fit. And another one which I've added to my set of grid is the adaptability of a particular candidate. Besides these four general tenets, one is being the cognitive, second being the emotional, next being the physical fitness, and the fourth being adaptability. Which other skill sets do you think a candidate should have, generally speaking, which I could include in my grid to assess candidates?
So, Amit bhai, in my opinion, all four are excellent. But what is most important is हम अपना partner. So when we actually onboard somebody, we make him as a partner in our growth. Very unfortunate that उसको partner बनाने के लिए हम बहुत कम समय देते हैं. You cannot, let me tell you, you cannot judge a person in 15 minutes or half an hour of interview.
Absolutely. Yes.
That particular process is a very, very long process. And that is why in good old time, those reference checks on so forth were very important. Reference check आपको बताते थे कि वो आदमी वैसे ही अच्छा है कि नहीं. So उसको बताते थे intelligent है कि नहीं, cognitive skill है कि नहीं. Education में अच्छा है वो तो उसकी degree अपने आप बताती है. But that's only one factor. There are many other factors, and इसीलिए choosing anybody for your business or for your job is choosing a partner for yourself, उसमें उतनी अहमियत बरतनी चाहिए जितनी अपनी लाइफ पार्टनर को चूज करने में करते हैं. But हम normally, we tend to ignore and we spend very little time on it. But all four that you said is something which I would only add by saying, spend a little more time through references, which all actually will tell you about the real trait of a person.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic questions and different variety coming up. Right. Thank you so much, Amitji, for that. And Shagun, go ahead with yours.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session in the morning of a Sunday. And I have just one question. You have about 40 years of experience within different industries, starting from heavy metals, then now with Jio, which is expanding in every sphere of our life. What we still lack in India is a brand that is truly made from India for a global audience. And in your opinion, across these 40 years, have you seen any industry or any particular industry that is coming up? Because now we see that scaling revenue is not an issue. We see that since AI has come up, B2B sales have gone so far that revenue is not an issue. Which industry is such that you see in the roots of India that can truly help to attract global audience, and we can still start like a Bay Area in India itself? So what is that one thing?
Absolutely. So Shagun, सबसे पहले मैं बताऊं कि with almost 300 years of people ruling us, we are so used to being ruled that we actually do not take pride in what we have done. I can tell you that what revolution Geo has done in terms of digitization is something I'm very, very proud of. Whether it is reducing your call prices, data prices, in terms of UPI contributions, and what globally people saw in terms of vaccination program that Reliance ran along with the government is truly unprecedented, recognized globally. There are many more sectors. For example, energy sector is another sector which I feel that India is on the verge of doing revolution. It may not be only kind of Reliance, it would be Adani's and so on and so forth, but then we are on that revolutionary path. And what can be kind of a bigger satisfaction for all of us, that in most of the top companies, in 50 odd companies, at least in 50% of them, you have Indian CEOs. So that means our brain is really working, the industries are working. That is why you are at almost number 3, and you're very soon going to be ahead of the game. So be proud of whatever India has achieved over last few decades. I'm very proud of that.
Great. So
Thank
you're
you.
getting to know. See, sometimes, as you rightly said, we don't even appreciate. But we are doing so much. Absolutely. Let's focus on what we're doing and look at what else we can do. Right, Shreyansh, your turn. Need to switch on
First
your
of,
video.
yeah,
Would you?
sure. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can. Sorry
yeah,
for
sure.
this.
Good.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for your time. It means a lot. So I just have a one question. Maybe it sounds philosophical, but then still I want to ask you. Like before Q&A sessions, if you had to, you give us a lot of key takeaways. If you had to sum up everything you said, making in one word, what it would be?
I think believing in yourself. Uh, if you believe in yourself, rest will automatically follow. We don't trust in ourselves, and that is why we don't increase our potential from X to 10x. X to 10x करने के लिए you need mentors to push you, but at the end of the day, you should have the conviction that you can increase your capability from X to 10x.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Is there time for a last question? Anybody there? All right, Vishalji, aapko, over to you.
No, thank you so much, Rajneesh, as always, as expected. Always a pleasure. And I learned some new terms every time I learn something new. So I've learned few new ones like SHE and TDS. I also relate to your first example, like taking charge of our career, having Google Map in our hand rather than leaving it to the driver. And taking charge means prioritizing our learning, our career, believing in ourselves, and doing justice to our potential and potential of ourselves and our country and making it X to 10X. But it all requires self-leadership, those tools and acronyms, and the learning mindset. So absolutely amazing, and welcome on board as our mentor. I think in the next week's Mentors Roundtable, we would love to have your introduction with fellow mentors as well. And as always, Sushma ji, thank you so much. And I also want to now welcome our new volunteers. They all came from this level up circle. They raised their hands. So Ritu and Gaurav, they are two here. I'm sure Ajay and Apurva and others are there. There are 7 of them. And really they've raised their hands coming forward. And we really want to put like a firepower, right, of young generation behind this program to bring scale. And I'm really looking forward to really they bringing their unique contribution to the program. So, and then Sayogji is pretty much the core engine driving this program. So really thank you, Sayogji, and to everyone here. Again, a reminder, this is pretty much available to all Gen professionals. There's no fee. I think what is requested is do really prioritize your learning, do justice to your career, help each other, spread the word, and that's how we'll grow together, right? And let experience meets curiosity. That's our tagline. So with that, I think I want to thank everyone, and we wish you best of Sunday. I hope you had a great start and a good use of your time, and wish you best of your life ahead. Thank you.